Friday. Welcome to the show. That's Egan. I'm Jason, and we are your internet dads. And we meet here Monday through Friday, usually to drink coffee and talk about the news. And I want to let you know right now, I support migrant red cards. And I bet you're thinking,
is that like soccer? Is that a soccer thing? Are you getting into is that a soccer thing?
I actually think it may be like, I don't know anything about soccer, but I think it may be like the opposite of soccer. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the same as soccer. In soccer, does a red card like stop the game?
Well, when you do something bad in soccer, a no-no, they give you a yellow card. But if you do a big no-no,
I wouldn't say it's the same. I would say that if you find yourself at odds with the most powerful nation on earth, which has recently regained its balls and decided that it's going to be the most powerful nation on earth, and you're gonna fight for your existence in this land, I think a little 2x3 piece of paper is probably the right weapon of choice, and I'm going to tell you why.
Before JJ tells you why, welcome to the show this morning.
Welcome.
I'm Deacon. That's JJ.
Like and subscribe.
We talk about stuff. Did you already say that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Rumble.com/.
So yeah, show me your picture again.
Sure. Yeah. Here's that. Well, look, this is, make no mistake, that's AI.
How is he holding that?
It's a piece of paper. You don't have to hold very much of it. Look, I can do that. Like that's no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. It has my name on it. Okay. So, Los Angeles schools and many others are giving immigrant red cards in order to assert their rights. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is a great idea. I'm 100% behind this. Now, I realize that they're trying to be subversive and undermine law and order or whatever, but that's fine. It's okay. I'm still on board. So let's do this real quick. Let me show you.
All right.
Please. That's the camera button. Shouldn't do that. Let's do this. Here we go. On Breitbart News, Los Angeles Unified School District is giving out informational red cards to immigrants as President Trump's mass deportation of mostly criminal illegals heats up. Now, I will be clear. That's the new press secretary. Her name is Levitt. And when she
laid down the law.
She was asked basically like, which migrants are the criminal migrants and how many of them is it going to be? And she said, all of the illegal immigrants are criminals. And they're like, yeah, but like with criminal records. And she said, like, if you enter our country illegally, that is a crime.
You got a criminal record.
Yeah.
The previous administration may have looked at that a different way, but we look at it like you come into the country illegally, you have broken the law, you now have a criminal record, and you're going to be deported.
Yeah. The previous administration was like, do not come. Wink, wink. And that's the Biden administration. All right. ICE has deported 7,300 illegal migrants during Trump's first week in office, the DHS said, according to Breitbart News. Most of the deported immigrants were criminals guilty of or facing charges of robbery, rape, assault, domestic violence, drunk driving, and reckless driving. Trump, however, wants to raise the pace to 1,500 deportations each day, and that would bring the total annual deportations of up to about 500,000 migrants.
And you're going to get caught with stuff that the left news has already been spewing out. I saw this story where this poor little girl, this Hispanic girl, was very upset because her father was being deported and he was a good man. But guess what? He had an arrest record for battery. And you know what?
I mean, look, unfortunately, we're going to have situations that pull at your heartstrings, but make no mistake, that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they're trying to pull at your heartstrings. The fact of the matter is, this man was in the country and he is not a legal citizen yet. Right. If he was going through the process, there's certain things that, if you're auditioning for a job and they're like, you're going through this hiring process, you're not going to go and take a shit in the freaking break room on the third day and hope that they're going to overlook that. You break a rule and they're going to probably let you go. And it's the same thing. You're auditioning to be a citizen of this country. You've broke the law. You have a battery charge against you. Hey, guess what? I don't have to deal with that because my ancestors moved over here like 300 freaking years ago. All right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, you don't have to deal with it. Okay, let me get back to this. Let me tell you, you still don't know what a red card is. Okay, all right. Okay. So the Immigration Legal Resource Center has these cards that tell recipients not to open their door to an immigration officer, avoid answering questions, and also don't sign anything without consulting an attorney. The ILRC's red cards help people assert their rights and defend themselves in many situations, such as when ICE agents go to your home. They're about the size of a business card, and here, let's see, and these are being distributed at LA schools, but also probably many other places. But hold on, let's not take it secondhand. Here is the ILRC.org site card. Now, this is the English version. They have it in Arabic, Chinese, Spanish, you name it, they got it. Okay, so you want one, go print one, go print 10. You have constitutional rights. Do not open the door if an immigration agent is knocking on the door.
Can I ask or any other law enforcement? That very first thing you said, you have constitutional rights. Do they?
Yes. Any person under the jurisdiction of the United States is obligated to follow the law of the United States, and the United States government is obligated to honor the rights of people within their jurisdiction. So they have rights.
So
such as
these
not
people
to be
have constitutional rights, that they have these rights, but they are required to follow the law and do the things under our jurisdiction. And the whole reason these people are there is because they have not followed the law. We've got a loop going.
Sure. Well, hold on now. Remember, it's the job of the United States government to prove you guilty, and you have a right. You have a right to not testify against yourself. You have a right to not subject to illegal search and seizure.
If they are here in this country and not going through the process,
right?
They are here illegally, and that is against our country's laws.
Yes.
So we shouldn't have to prove them guilty. That's like saying the sky's blue.
No, sir. We restrict our government with obligations, including due process. It is incumbent upon our government to prove the case, even if you're going to be on the same side of this whenever they come knocking at your door for something else.
No, I agree with what you're saying. It's just a bunch of this is the bullshit. No. Go this way. You remember the Family Circus cartoons with the family, in the newspaper, the family. You know what I'm talking about? Little Billy running all over town. This is what this is.
Listen, I'm going to try to persuade you that I'm right on this, and that
I don't disagree with you. I do.
These cards are 100%.
Me. I agree with you.
Okay, so here's what the cards say: don't open the door. Do not answer questions from an immigration agent if they try to talk to you. You have the right to remain silent. You can replace from an immigration agent with a law enforcement agent or with anyone else. Just don't talk. Don't sign anything without speaking to a lawyer first. That's great advice. And if you're outside your home, ask the agent, ask the law enforcement officer, am I free to leave? If they say yes, then just leave. Don't talk to them anymore. Just leave. And then give the card to the agent if you're at your home. Okay, so now these cards are obviously intended to help people escape the grasp of ICE. But here's what I don't want. I don't want the United States government catching people the wrong way. I want us to, on the up and up, on the legit, get every single case right. And if that means people are asserting their rights and we gotta wait 2 more days and get a warrant or whatever, okay, do that. Do it that way. Do it right.
That's what you're seeing. What I'm seeing in my warped storytelling mind here is that they start passing out these cards. The ICE agents can't do. They have to follow the rules because they're not going to break rules like the Democrats did. They're going to follow the rules. So they're going to have to follow the rules. And that could in my little story here in my mind, that potentially sparks outrage in someone that starts a splinter group of a bunch of rednecks, racists, whatever you call them, that's going to go out and take matters into their own hands. I ain't
I
got
don't
to
want
follow
anybody
this
taking.
card. I'm just saying, in this hypothetical fiction story that we're writing, this is one part of the aspect that's going to be part of the dilemma. Is that you have this is the main story of these immigrant people fighting ICE, and they're holding up against ICE. Well, we need to add another aspect to make the story flavorful. So we're going to add these good old boys that decided that live here that are like, I don't have to follow these government rules. We want you out of our town to protect our citizens.
Here's what let me run you down 2 hypothetical scenarios.
Okay.
Here's the first hypothetical scenario. Migrants thinking that they are safer using these red cards, stay at their houses, stay at their schools, and when they're confronted, they hold up the red card, they assert their rights, and the ICE agents have to go through some extra steps to get stuff done. In the meantime, they stay at their house, they stay at their home.
They're already doing that. I've saw videos of these grocery stores out there in LA that are like completely empty, and they're like, look, this is like Monday at 10 a.m. There is no one in here.
I saw a video of a restaurant. It was like a taqueria or something, and the guy showed up. He was like, "This place is closed. There's no one here. They're gone." Yeah. Okay. Now here's scenario. So that's scenario 1, where we have people here illegally, but because of due process and calm, rational, and kind of obeying the rules, they get to stay where they're at until we get this sorted out. And they're not okay. Here's scenario 2: no red cards. ICE agents are just tackling people in the street. People are panicking, worried, running scared. They disappear. They run all over the place. We can't track anybody. More importantly, people are putting themselves in danger, trying to stay safe. That's a worse situation. This is a better situation.
Wait. Look 25 years down from each of those situations. Situation A. These people are here, let them stay, blah, 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 follow the law. Well, they've been here. This process takes 15 years. They've been living here 15 years. They've established a thing 15 years. And now you want, no. They have formed their own government. They have their own police state. And now they want this land for their own. They want a 51st state. They want to call it this. They want this right. They want to secede from you got all these scenarios. So let's go to scenario B. Beating the crap out of them, panic, violence, all this crap happens. It's terrible. 25 years later, there's nobody starting anything.
Well,
and I'm not saying I'm not a violent person. I've never been. I don't like violence. I think it's the stupidest
this is more effective.
Of violence. I like wrestling because it's fake. I have never been a big UFC fan. I appreciate and respect that, but I'm not a violence person. I think the bigger man is the one that doesn't fight, that can get out of the fight. You win by not fighting. But anyway, I'm not. So I'm just want to get that out there for anybody watching. I'm not saying that. I'm a D&D player. Okay. And I've said this before on the show, and I'm not advocating this. I'm just saying this makes a statement. If me and you have been walking for months along our fantasy road, and we have been battling vagabonds, and we finally see some smoke in the distance, and we see that it's a town coming up.
Yeah.
So we rise the hill and we get closer to the town, and there's a big tree. And on that tree are 2 rotting corpses that are being picked away by crows. And a sign on those corpses says, thief. Are we going to steal in that town? The likelihood is no.
Okay, but I mean, that's very dramatic.
I'm saying that it is practical. That crap was straight up historical. I'm just saying that makes a statement. I'm not advocating for it.
I'm coming back to this. I think these red cards are great. I think it's great. First of all, even if you're not a migrant, you should have one of these cards or something like it. And every person, look, so how many times have you watched a crime show and like the cops had nothing except they talked you into confessing? It's like it's so many times. And I'm not advocating for criminal behavior or whatever, but what I am saying is that law enforcement very often will take the easy way out. And if they can get your dumb ass to talk,
yeah.
then that's what they're going to do. And then you incriminated yourself, which is the whole point of the Fifth Amendment. You don't have to do that. So I think migrant or not, everybody should appraise themselves of these rights. And second, I would rather have ICE be doing paperwork on people at a house than chasing people we don't know where they're at or whatever, or just making bad assumptions. So I'd rather have them.
I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're going after these hardcore guys right now, and these other people, and some of these people are falling in the cracks. They're not falling through the cracks; they're falling in them. Okay, and they're getting these little bitty, like the girl crying because her dad had a battery charge, and a battery charge could be anything, just me slapping you could be a battery charge because you called my wife a whore or something like that. That's a battery charge. So, I mean, I can understand that you're going to get some of these that are like, okay, dude was here illegally. He's trying to do better with his life, and maybe I'm all for that. I'm okay with that. Don't go after these kids and stuff.
I think the ICE going to schools is probably low order operations right now.
That's the lowest of the low right now.
Yeah. Redhead Ryan says that they're staying home in Mayfield. He has some friends that have been expecting this, and they told their kids not to walk home from school or to the park. They're worried about it being stopped and asked.
And that's here in Western Kentucky. And honestly, I don't see that as a big problem here. I can see why those Hispanic people are saying that to their kids, but I wouldn't expect anything like that here.
I mean, law enforcement right now is after the violent criminal people, and if they happen to catch up some people that answered these questions when they shouldn't have, they should have shut their mouths. If they had, then they happen to catch people that answer questions when they should have shut their mouths. But the other day when they raided a warehouse and busted like a bunch of TDA guys, like Trey de Agua or whatever, like that was a raid. I think it was in Chicago, and Tom Homan was with them. That was a raid to take down a criminal network. Yeah. Okay. And if you're hanging out there and you answered the questions, then you got scooped up.
And see, that's how this story is going to spread like a tree branch, is that they're trying to get these criminal networks. And what I don't think people realize is that how deep the criminal network has their fingers into the heartlands of America. Because even in our little Western Kentucky there, where there's a lot of Hispanic population over in Graves County, there are the cartel has their fingers in that network. When I read the news, I get all these Hispanic names. They've got meth on them. They've got fentanyl on them every single time. And those people are going to get arrested in those small communities, and that's going to ripple to the rest of the community. Did you hear that this guy got arrested? Oh no. And it's going to incite a little fear within that community where, like you said, it's like Redheaded Ryan said there. I'll tell them that they're more worried about the criminals. We're more worried about the criminals. So Hispanic mothers, go to the grocery store and get food, to prepare food for your children, please. We're not worried. You're trying to do better for your family.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to be all of the red card story is for now. I personally think this is great, and everybody should take this advice, not just migrants or criminal migrants or illegal migrants or anyone. Like, everybody should be you should know, don't get scooped up by the cops on somebody else's thing, and then you start talking and get yourself messed up. Just get a lawyer.
There's a couple of lawyers on TikTok that I follow, and their things come up every once in a while, but one of their big videos was the top 5 things to remember that they're your rights when you get pulled over by a cop. And they were like, you got to remember this. I can't recite them, but they were like, you got to remember this and always say this and do not do this and do not do this and do not do this. And they were like, you need to remember that, because the cops will use tactics. Some cops will use tactics to. And it's.
I mean, I'm not going to give you legal advice, but I've seen stuff.
No, I'm not either.
Like they stop you, ask you for your license, you give them your license and registration. When they ask you questions, you say, "I don't talk to police. I'm sorry."
I always treat the police officers with respect. I always turn off my car, and I always keep my hands on the driver's on the wheel at like 11 and 1 so that they can see where my hands are the whole time.
Okay. So same advice I would give to anybody else. I don't mind also giving to migrants. I don't mind.
Right.
I think it's good. I think it's good advice. Hey, I had a bunch of stories about people ruining a good time. And so I thought maybe I'd have a couple of these. First of all, if I say the name Tom Welling, does anything happen in your brain? Tom Welling?
Yeah. Who is that?
Somebody save me. Every time I see Tom Welling, I hear the Smallville theme song.
It was Superman. When you said Tom Welling, I had the Superman logo flashed in my head. I was like,
yes,
is that Superman?
Yes, that's one of my Superman. That's I loved the Smallville show. It was very much like Monster of the Week. It was the same plot every single week.
It was like it was a DC Superman soap opera is what it was.
I loved it. It was great. Tom Welling reportedly was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence in California this weekend. He's best known for playing Clark Kent on the Superman origin story Smallville. He was arrested shortly after midnight in an Arby's parking lot.
You got to get some extra horsey sauce, man. You got to use that on your sandwiches at home. Come on.
And he was booked into the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office at 2 a.m. and he was released at 7. He had a blood alcohol level of about 0.08%. Yeah. Now, I don't know if he was driving under the influence or what. The actor, 47, was released about 7 a.m. He's a year older than me. He's your age.
Yeah.
How does he look so good? And
no shit. I interviewed Joe Nichols. Do you know Joe Nichols, the country star Joe Nichols?
I've heard the name.
I interviewed him the other day, and I was trying to go through questions and my brain was like, dude is 48 years old, and he's like the best looking dude you've ever seen in your life. Like, dude, come on. Can you give us a little bit of looks, maybe? Yeah, old Tom. So 0.08, if his blood alcohol level was 0.08, that is the legal limit to be. He don't need to be driving. You don't need to be driving. If you're drinking, don't drive. Don't even I've just had one. No. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Yep. So they say that his speech at the time that he was arrested was clear, so he wasn't slurring or anything. Yeah, Okay.
Superman, dude. He don't get affected by alcohol like us humans do.
Which one upsets you more? The fact that Tom Welling, Superman, was arrested for DUI. I
don't care.
Or Tom Welling, Superman, was at Arby's at midnight.
That's cool to me. It just shows you that Superman's just an average everyday guy, and every once in a while he wants some sliders, man.
All right. Here's some more people ruining a good time. Check this out. Sigourney Weaver is doing a play. She's doing The Tempest in London. And we have a clip. I've never seen The Tempest, but I thought perhaps that it would be great. She's playing Prospero in The Tempest. Here is that's Sigourney sitting on a little stool. And remember, Sigourney, she's like, I don't know, close to 80 now. She,
I would say that she's in her mid 70s, early 70s. What is?
And what's going on here? Whoa, sorry, I'm out of here. I don't know what's going on, but that sounded like a gunshot.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything?
No, we can't hear anything.
Damn it.
Do it again. You want to start all over again?
Yeah,
sure. We can just rewind all this.
We'll just pretend. We'll pretend that it's All right, here. The Tempest. All right. I'm not. Come on.
Producer.
I know. This show. Why is it stuck?
There you go.
You hear now?
As wicked you as I am my mother brat. with raven's feather from unwholesome fen. About so, ladies and gentlemen, sorry.
All right, so what's going on here is that some climate evangelists have interrupted the tempest to make a big old show of things. And then they're saying 1.5 degrees is going to ruin our planet, and we've already passed that, and oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. So climate activists, they ruin stuff, but I have to say this. The balls you must have to be walking around wearing a black diaper in public as your job. I mean, I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know the backstory here.
So I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
Are the people holding the banner?
Yeah.
Protesters. Supposed to be in? Oh, they're protesters.
No, they're protesters.
But the other guy that crawled out, he's a part of the play.
Yeah, so that was intentional.
Yeah, okay. This guy he crawled out of
this guy. This guy's intentional. This is an intentional outfit by wardrobe.
Right.
Okay.
It's a play, whatever he's in. I mean, I've had to do 3 costume changes in Christmas Carol one time and ended up ripping the jacket that I was supposed to be Bob Cratchit, and the last play, the last performance, the arms coming down, and because I put my arm in and ripped it, and I was like, it's Bob Cratchit. I'm just going to go for it. You know, he's supposed to be poor. Yeah. And everybody was like, oh, you look so good. And I'm like, that was an accident. So I can understand wanting to be or not having to wear crap.
Right.
But those people are protesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They interrupted the play so that they could tell you that the earth is too warm and something's going to the end of the world, whatever.
Man, I have got to get, where is this at again?
This is in London.
Okay. That's what I thought. I have got to give it to the European left environmentalist people. I mean, you have brainwashed these people so good. And so, I mean, they super glue their hands to walls and stuff. They are committed. You've got to give hands to those people, man.
They follow Potato Jesus, you know, wherever she goes, they're going with her.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
So the stagehand comes out and gets Sigourney and escorts her off stage, I'm assuming, for her protection.
Yeah, they both leave, and then these environmentalists turn the rest of this into like there's voiceover where they're like, oh, it's 1.5 degrees. We have to stop this. It's an emergency. Okay. All right. Meanwhile, I think I read recently where there's like a long graph of like temperatures over time, and we're at like one of the coldest periods in like planet history. All right. Deke, here's some more. Maybe ruining a good time, maybe not. I don't know. We're going to see what you think about this. There's a movie coming out. I'm sure you're very excited. You may not have yet bought your ticket. It stars Anthony Mackie, and it's about Captain America. And here are some words that he has to say about what this movie means to him. And I'm curious.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I'm so curious if this is going to get you to buy a ticket. So.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things. And I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of the actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day, no, There are no dragons. That's not a sword, and that princess is not there.
That's on them, bro.
Dreams were dashed.
No,
so, no,
they're not.
Actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon.
He's wrong.
Princess.
He's wrong.
And that's kind of what this movie was.
Pause it. He's wrong.
So that's what the movie was.
He's wrong. If you are one of those people that has taken the stick and turned it into a sword, like Jill, she loves dragons. She got a big imagination, right?
Loves dragons.
What would happen in 5 or 6 or 7 years and somebody comes to your daughter and says, there's no such thing as dragons and it's not a sword and you need to get in the real world and you need to live in the real world, and squashes her imagination? No. I'm a 47-year-old man that still will take a stick and turn it into a sword when I'm walking outside, man. Come on. You don't need to do that. And if he's experienced that, and here's what I had to say. I didn't see that initial whole thing, but I heard what he said about Captain America and whatnot. And I thought, dude, Anthony, you really don't know which battles to pick, bro. All right. I don't know if you didn't turn battle mode off or whatnot. We liked you as Falcon. Yeah. Most of us really didn't care about you getting the Captain America mantle. There were some people that tried to, and you faced that like a champ, Anthony. Way to go, bro. Because most of us old school original Marvel lovers like JJ and I didn't really care. That's a new story. That's fine. We understood this is where stories go. We hope you do a good job. But now you've taken this Captain America mantle that you had to fight for, and now you're pissing all over it in one interview?
Yeah. Okay. So see, I'm not gonna be that harsh about it, because here's what I think. I think that Anthony has seen the cut of the movie already, which has been recut a couple times, and there's been some bad press about it. And Anthony is like under contract. And Marvel said, Anthony, I need you to go sell this movie. And he's up on stage, and then the back of his head is like, I did the best I could, but like, this movie isn't good. So I need to talk up the things about the movie that are good. It's not going to be me beating up the Hulk.
You know how Marvel, the behind the scenes Marvel kind of works, and with keep your mouth shut. Here's the info, but you can't say anything for a month. We kind of know how that works. But so that's a good point. But man, did he choose the wrong words?
I mean, well, yeah. That's why his story, he veered off to this like stick in a man in a castle thing. Like that's not selling the movie. That's just you talking about whatever, because you know you can't talk about the movie.
That's true. Okay, yeah, I will agree with that.
So he's just reaching for something in this, and he thought this sounds poignant. This sounds
Marvel and Disney, after all of this backlash that it began before Captain Marvel and went through She-Hulk and all this woke crap. The only one that I really even liked was Captain Marvel, the one with the little girl. What was her name? Hell, I don't even remember her name now.
Ms. Marvel, the TV show.
Ms. Marvel, the TV show, and I just thought the story was okay. What I liked was the production and the way the TV show was shot, and this how the story was told. The format of the TV show was cool.
Seem to have lost her. Have you seen?
Why
her?
did
they had a movie?
Have they not learned anything yet? Do they intend to sell 100 million tickets for this? Because you come out and you say Captain America represents everything but America.
Yeah, I don't think that was a line given to him
movie. I don't want to go see that movie then.
Yeah. I'm not sure what was going on. And look, there was a Captain Marvel comic where Falcon took over the Captain America. And you know what? That comic bombed. It bombed. It did very, very badly. And then they made a movie. Okay. Whatever.
Out of the thousands and thousands of mini stories, mini stories that they could tell, they pick the most asinine shit to make movies out of.
Yeah, they do. Now they could have. I mean, like I honestly don't think they should have done Captain America anything. I don't think they should have passed it along.
It's done. Yeah, that's
like,
you
oh,
gotta
Captain America
know when
retired.
to fold them, man. You gotta
Right,
know
yeah.
when to fold them, when to walk away and when to run.
I imagine that there's somebody along the way was like, this will be so poignant when Steve Rogers passes along the shield to his lifelong friend, to the man that's been with him by his side.
And that was a beautiful, from a storyteller standpoint, that was a great moment. Great, boom, end of story. You're done. You're done. You're going to saturate the what makes the original moment great. If you keep going, you're going to saturate it. You don't need to. That was a good moment. You're done. Next story. Have you heard about this guy?
Yeah.
What about this guy named Cable and Strife and Apocalypse? And let me tell you this story because, whoa, it's crazy.
Yeah. I just think that, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they get, and I know that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back for Dr. Doom or whatever. I have no faith that they're going to pull this off. All right. Speaking of no faith, actually, that was a terrible. I'm going to give myself a pre-0 on that segue. Pre-0. Your favorite Pope and mine, Pope Francis, has issued AI warnings as the Vatican draws up new rules. Oh, jeez. The Vatican released Tuesday a document that offers wide-ranging ethical guidelines for the application of artificial intelligence in sectors from warfare to healthcare. Okay, so the Catholic Church is telling us what to do with AI, because it's going to be used for war and all this kind of stuff.
And AI, if you don't think Catholic Church has had a hand in AI since the very beginning, then I've got a bridge in North Dakota to sell you.
I know. I swear that the Catholic Church had an AI chatbot that you could. They had like an AI priest. I swear we did a story on the Catholic Church AI priest.
I'm telling you, the giant squid monster's tentacle that tentacleizes down in that areas. Has had a hand in it.
Look, let me preface this with: I don't care what the Catholic Church says, especially what the Pope says, or like that. I don't care. They can say whatever they want. Yeah. The document warns that AI has the potential to increase instruments of war, quote, well beyond the scope of human oversight, which could provoke a destabilizing arms race. We all could have told you that. Of course, we could tell you that. Well, weapon systems that can identify and strike targets without human intervention, removing the unique human capacity for moral judgment and ethical decision making. Duh. No kidding. But that's not the best part. The best part of this is here. Oh, they don't have it in here. The Pope referred to AI as having a shadow of evil. That was one of his reasons for not restricting AI. There is a shadow of evil among over AI. So we have talked before on this show about the very real possibility that AI has demon bots and that there's demons up in the AI. Maybe the Catholic Church is agreeing with us. Maybe there's demon bots. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're getting a little crazy there, but I mean, if we want to say, I do believe that there's other things out there we can't see and hear that interact with us. Okay. And we don't need to delve into that because we can talk about that forever, but I do believe that. And if they are, then yes, that they would. I've said for a couple of years now, what if AI is not an artificial intelligence, but it is a device that we have created that allows another intelligence that is out there to start to communicate with us via our language and our thought processes, and it's having to learn how we think, how we communicate, how we say stuff, how we joke, how we are serious. It has to learn all these things, and that's what it's doing. And it could be a lot smarter than us, this entity, and it's doing it under the guise that it is an artificial thing. That is a completely different, that's a story that we could create and sell 1 million copies of, I'm sure. But if there are those, then yes, it would be conclusive that they would use any and everything, including the newest to have influence over the way that we think and do things. And AI absolutely helps you out, because I can go, hey, Google, tell me how many people there were on the Titanic that survived. And it's going to give me the answer. And whatever it says, I'm going to take it as fact, whether it's correct or not.
I just wanted to highlight this is the New York Times. This is citing Shadow of Evil. So
when did that come out, though?
Today.
So over the weekend, Chinese has introduced all this, the new AI that we were talked about yesterday, and talked about the pros and cons of this yesterday. And now you're getting these little ancillary articles about, negative Nancy, listen, negative Ned.
I'm all for smart people having oversight, maybe over the AI, but I don't really need the Catholic Church to be the one making AI guidelines. Doesn't seem like that's in their lane.
No,
you're exactly like that's right. In their lane.
No, Catholic Church, you shouldn't. But along those same guidelines, I don't think the Catholic Church should have basically the Library of Alexandria buried underneath Vatican City, and won't allow anyone underneath there to look at all this history that we've had for years. You ever wonder why the Library of Alexandria burnt down 3,000 years ago?
I mean, I figured fire.
Yeah, you think about it. Why? Maybe to hide some crap that they had. We lost so much.
As far as I understand it,
about the Library of
Alexandria elected for like 40 years. They elected Democrats straight to run, and they couldn't. and they didn't prepare properly for fire.
Sleepy Pharaoh Rick, he didn't do anything. They called him the Sleepy Pharaoh.
If Vatican's got like a whole hidden library of stuff that, okay, that I don't know that they have it, but if they do,
that's their property. They do. These people say we've been there. You can request access to go down there and look, but you have to know what you're looking for. They go get it for you. You can't there's like 5 miles of shit down there in the Vatican. It's like, I want to know what some of that stuff is.
You reminded me of a story I forgot to bring up. I told you earlier in the show that we have a new press secretary. I think her name is Levitt, Press Secretary Levitt. Levitt was complimented by Breitbart and several other for the White House. This Trump administration is reinstating credentials for, I think, 440 media outlets that the Biden administration had yoinked and prevented from coming to the press secretary pool. And we've seen many pictures over the last 4 years of the press secretary pool. It looked kind of like a thin room. Well, right now it's a very packed room, but here's what I'm getting to. She was complimenting. She said, we want, as Americans, especially young Americans, are consuming their news from various platforms like rumble.com/internetdads. It's so important that there's more people covering the White House than ever before from a diverse place. With that being said, there is a website, sir, for you to visit. It is whitehouse.gov/new media. And if you are a legitimate newscaster, a legitimate person making daily news, you can, and I'm saying you can, go to whitehouse.gov/new media and fill out the questionnaire. And Deke, you could be the official White House correspondent for Internet Dads across the country. I don't know how you're going to get to DC or ask questions, but you're closer than me. Yeah.
If you wanted someone to represent our show to ask questions to the White House press secretary, would you really want it to be me? Because you're going to give me, I'll have one question, and my ass is going to be like, look,
where are the UFOs?
Aliens.
Listen, we know Trump said today that's not real. All those UFOs flying in Jersey were just for research.
About those. Yeah. They were looking for uranium.
I'm sorry to tell you, there's no aliens. There's not any.
It's cute that you believe that. Well, it's cute. That means you believing that means that they have done their job. Honestly, that's how I look at it. People that say there's no such thing as aliens, that to me is like, well, they did their job and it worked.
Munchkin, come here. Let's see. How are you feeling?
Good.
She has had flu A,
Good,
and
good.
now she has. Now she is doing good. Oh, you look at how much she wants to be here. Even. Good morning, Jill. Can you go take your temperature for me and bring it here, please? Thanks.
Is she feeling better?
I think so. I think so. All right. Are you ready for jokes, sir?
No. Are we at
Okay.
jokes?
Neither am I. Yeah, I think we're at jokes. Mostly, I have to step out.
Oh, JJ's got to go pee.
So let's do jokes. Jill, do you have a joke? I can't understand you with that in your mouth. What is worse than finding a worm in your apple? I know you know this one. Everybody knows this one. Do you know what's worse than finding a worm in your apple? Finding half a worm in your apple. Half a worm. You don't get it? Oh, she gave me a thumbs down. Thumbs down.
I'm going to give you a thumbs down too.
Yeah.
Have to oh, that's terrible. Hey, what happens when you fight a dinosaur?
Good. What happens when you fight a dinosaur?
You get your ass kicked.
Oh, okay. All right. Here you go. JJ, the aliens hide behind your anus. They gotta hide somewhere. If they're hiding somewhere. Okay. His joke was not worse than mine. You guys should not be doing it that much. All right. Are we done? I think we're done. Good morning, everybody.
I got to
Please
go.
come back tomorrow.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Essay for a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today.
Pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted the logo.